So if we are dividing the crops, for example tomato we are taking here, so you can divide it into the 4 parts because nutrition is very important. So we should understand exactly what are the stages. According to stages there is the requirement of nutrients, right guys? So nutrients we will understand later on what is the classification, what is the macro and micro, but before that in what quantity and what should be the combination of nutrient. To understand this we should divide into the 5 phases: early growth, vegetative, flowering, fruit formation, mature, fruiting. Okay, so early growth you can when you are start germination, right? So it takes 25 to 30 days, and then vegetative growth 20 to 25 days, flowering 20 to 30 days. Okay, and then next fruit formation is also 20 to 30 days, and next 15 to 20 days mature, fruiting. So this we can divide into the 5 stages as discussed by some scientists like Jones and Gracie et al. Right. So what is the benefit of dividing it? Because for example we can take an example of child. Baby we cannot feed the as nutrients as the adult one. Okay, we have to modify the nutrients, understanding their age and the requirements. Okay, so and for example different crops has a different features, so we have to know about the crops also before understanding the nature of nutrient formulation. For example, if you take the example of lettuce, so lettuce grow very rapidly in the hydroponics as compared to the soil system. Okay, NFT especially, NFT or Dutch bucket system is the best for growing this lettuce. Lettuce demand is very heavy in the pizza, burger and all the fast food system. So commercial farming mostly preferred crop is lettuce growing. Okay, there are various kind of lettuce. I will come to that detail. And if you see the price detail, so this is the price just 1 month before. Cherry tomato up to 100, and green leaf lettuce 120, kale 80s. You can find it on the internet. It's available. Okay, it's not a very hard. You should go into the market and research it. What is the exact price? Romaine lettuce. Lettuce are different types. I said na, there are different use. So Lolo Rosa lettuce 150. Detox mix 350. This is mix of live wheat cross 160. Mizuna 100. Spicy leaf mix. They are selling like that. Okay. So rocket, Swiss chard, salad mix. All these are kind of hydroponics grown crops. Celery, parsley, mint, purple basil, Italian basil. Okay, all these are kind of crops that grown very well in the summertime, and nutrients if managed you can gain in better way. Okay, so what are the factors that should be considered when choosing a hydroponic nutrient solution? This is very important to understand the classification, because essential plant nutrients can be broadly classified as macronutrient and micronutrients. What are the macronutrients? Macronutrient again we can divide into 2 groups: primary and secondary. So primary nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, right? Remember it. NPK. NPK is the primary. Secondary calcium, magnesium, sulfur. Always you should handle it carefully, because in the different stages you have to change their requirements. Okay, if you are providing heavy quantity during the early stages, then your plant might be dead. Okay, so keep it in mind. And what about the micronutrients? Macronutrients, for example, iron, boron, zinc, copper, and then manganese, sodium, chlorine and cobalt. So what is the feature of micronutrient? Macronutrients are not easily soluble in water, so you have to provide EDTA. Can you tell me why these micronutrients are not easily soluble in water? Anyone? While NPK and calcium, magnesium, sulfur are easily soluble in water, right? So why they are not soluble? Because they are metal ions. Okay, so you need EDTA, chelating agent, to dissolve them. So there are some packed micronutrients which are mixed with the EDTA so that they are easily soluble in water. Otherwise, without EDTA, they will be precipitated. They are not going to dissolve easily. So these are the mineral nutrients. You cannot say them chemicals. These are not chemicals. These are the mineral nutrients, the nutrient, basic nutrients requirements. Okay, and I will tell you later on see what are the different roles of macronutrients. Macronutrients, why they are required? Because macronutrients are those that absorb in large quantity from the growing media by the plants. Okay, and the nutrient solution must have in the proper ratio. Okay, if you are changing the ratio, then that may result in the either advantageous or maybe disadvantageous, depends on the quantity. So formulation must be very careful and you must handle it by your own. Okay, so learn it well, because overall the success of hydroponic crop forms is the formulation of these macro and micro nutrients. If you are successful in making this, if you are understanding it well, then certainly you are going to have a much profit than expected. So what is the requirement of nitrogen? Everyone might be knowing. You are the student of bio agriculture, and of course necessary for the formation of amino acid coenzyme chlorophyll. Okay, and what will happen if the deficiency occur? Obviously the small yellowish leaves and some part of the plant turn purple, right? So even if you are supplying the excess of the nitrogen, then that may result in the overly vigorous growth, dark green leaves, delayed fruit ripening, and plant may also become more susceptible to pests. Okay. So phosphorus we know they are the source of energy. They are required in high quantity during the flowering and fruit production, root growth, and its deficiency causes plant to stunt and turn dark green. Lower leaves become yellow and may assume a purplish tinge as the phosphorus is drawn from them to feed new growth. So leaves can curl backward and droop while fruit formation and the root system is compromised. Okay. So toxicity of excessive phosphorus will reduce the availability of copper and zinc. Potassium, protein synthesis require high potassium level. Hardiness is required. If proper potassium is given, then hardiness will be there. Proper root growth will be there. And if you are growing some kind of fruits, then manufacture of sugar and starch depends on potassium supply also. Okay. For example, if we can take the example of the strawberry. If you are growing the strawberry, then you should know the level of potassium in what quantity you must supply, because during the fruiting and flowering formation, and the sugar, quality of the sugar decides your cost of strawberry. So you must know how to handle it carefully. And deficiency, obviously the growth slows while the older leaves develop mottling and plant become prone to fungus. Toxicity, excessive potassium may cause a secondary magnesium deficiency. Okay. So this is the formulation. For example, if you see the tomato stage 1, tomato stage 2 and tomato stage 3, right? You can see here tomato stage 1, all the elements are there, macro and micro, but quantity obviously varies. Tomato stage 1, you can see the nitrate content is low, only 90 ppm, part per million, gram per liter, you can say, milligram per liter, sorry, ppm means milligram per liter, and then 120, okay, 120 and then 190. You are increasing slowly, okay, you are increasing slowly because this is the flowering stage and then this is the fruiting stage. And obviously when you are preparing the nutrients, you have to prepare it separately, right? So tank A, tank B, we can classify the nutrient dissolution in 3 separate tanks, so that there should not be any kind of precipitation. Tank A, calcium nitrate, and half of potassium nitrate, iron chelate, and nitric acid. Okay, tank B, half of potassium nitrate, potassium sulfate, monopotassium phosphate, magnesium sulfate, okay, and monoammonium phosphate, ammonium nitrate, all micronutrients except iron chelate, because they are going to precipitate, and along with the phosphoric acid or sulfuric acid. Tank C. Tank C, especially these are the containing sulfuric or phosphoric or nitric or citric acid to maintain the pH level. So these are the nutrient composition formulation done by the Hogland in 1938, the Hogland and Arnold. This is the ideal one which are going to followed by everyone during the formulation for any crop. And then Habit, Cooper, Stenier, almost they consider almost the same quantity, means nitrogen must be higher milligram per liter, 210, and phosphorus 31, potassium, ppm is same, mg per liter, okay, must not be confused. Calcium 160, mg 34, sulfur 64, iron 2.5, copper 0.02. So these are trace elements. Zinc 0.05, Mn 0.5, boron 0.5, and molybdenum 0.01. So, and already we have discussed, you must remember it well, what happens when nitrogen deficiency. Leaves turn yellow, delayed ripening. Phosphorus deficiency, leaves shows curly, and potassium needed for root hardening. Deficiency causes attack of fungus. Micronutrients required in very small quantity, okay. And then you can see vegetative nutrient, fruiting, flowering. These are the different formulations. So you have to prepare three kind of nutrients during the crop cycle, okay. A vegetative nutrient will be different than the fruiting and then the flowering. So what will be missing, I will tell you later on. And if you are preparing nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, then these are the antagonism elements. You must not mix them, otherwise they are going to precipitate you. Better you should dissolve them separately, okay. So phosphorus is used in photosynthesis and overall growth. Potassium and magnesium act as a catalyst in the creation of starches and sugars. So remember it. Potassium and magnesium catalyst for creation of starches and sugar. If you are growing strawberry, for example, then starch sugar are very important. So you must know the importance of potassium and magnesium in that case. Magnesium and nitrogen also play a role in the production of chlorophyll, okay. So calcium is a part of the makeup cell wall, and if you are not providing proper amount of calcium, then your fruit may become weaker, okay. So there are these are the list: potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, manganese, copper, zinc, molybdenum, boron, fluoride. So these are called as the micronutrient. Along with that, there are many other trace elements that is required during the hydroponic formulation, okay. So a regular, if you are formulating a regular fertigation system, fertilizer for your crop system, then NPK, calcium nitrate, Epsom salt is the common to all the crops, okay. So now the question arises, which kind of water you should use.